Hi, Sarah Banas here, Spectrum Weavers. I'm going to show you today in Cricut Design Space how to make a door hanger. This one is for a wedding party, but of course there are lots of uses for door hangers. So I'm going to go ahead. You can see here I already have my text work done. I do all of my text work externally. Cricut Design Space has a kerning, which is letter spacing and alignment error. A lot of people tell you to ungroup and move your letters together manually. That's hack work. There's a better way. I have a video on it, and I'll link that in the description. It'll show you how to get perfect text work every single time. So also go ahead and follow me. I'll link a couple of Facebook groups that I manage in the description. Go ahead and follow me on, or not follow me, but join me on Facebook. There's one group actually that I make designs and I give them away to people. Anybody who wants to use them, but I'll link a few different groups that I manage. So let's go ahead and get started here. You can see my text work here. Let's go ahead and increase the size of this. This door hanger, I'll link that in the description as well, where you can get that, as well as these designs. This is part of a huge design group. It's like 330 or so designs in this design group that I got all these flowers and arrows from, birds. And that's a really, really pretty set. I'll link in the description where you can get that as well. So you're going to go ahead and increase this. I want it to be pretty big. I want it to be about that big. And then you're going to want to select your text work, and you're going to want to select the door hanger. So click off of that so nothing is selected, and then draw a square so that it touches both your text and the door hanger. And then go up here, go to align, and then go to second one down, center horizontally. Okay, and that'll go ahead and align that for you. Now, just so that everything stays where it's supposed to be, at the end, you'll flatten it. Again, you'll flatten everything. That's how you get your print then cut. That's what we're going to be doing here, by the way. We're going to be printing all of this onto this card, and then when we load it into our Cricut, it'll cut the outside of it. It's going to be super pretty. So let's go ahead and flatten that just so that nothing moves around on us. Okay, so I had both of those selected. If you didn't still have them both selected, you can click off of it and then again draw a square touching both your text and the door hanger, and then click flatten. So now, unfortunately, we can't really see the shape of our door hanger because when you flatten it, it takes away that outside line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a shape and I'm going to put that behind it so that I can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to unlock that and I'm going to make this larger than that. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to send it to the back. Okay, so actually I take back that I shouldn't have flattened that probably though, just in case I want to add some pretty flowers behind the text. So we can unflatten that if we want to add the flowers behind the text. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to take this and I want to decrease the size some, and oops, and I want to right click it and send to front. That makes it the top layer so that it's on top of everything, which is what you want here. Make it a little bit bigger. I want to put it right over that hole. Okay. Tiny, tiny bit bigger. And that's just about perfect. Now you can see here that part of this is overlapping where that's going to cut out. That's fine. That'll just, after it prints, that'll cut that part out. So go ahead and actually, you know what? I take that back. That might not. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to click off of that so nothing is selected. I'm going to click on just the door hanger and I'm going to duplicate that. Okay, and then I'm going to move the that duplicated one over here. And then I'm going to click this. I'm going to click that wreath and then I'm going to press Control. And then I'm going to left click on the door hanger so that I get the wreath and the door hanger only. And oops, start over. Sorry about that. Let me click off of it. Click on the door hanger and I have to unflatten that first. It won't let me slice with that as a flattened image. So click on that. Send that to, that's already the back. And I need to click on this and I need to move that back one layer. Move backwards one layer. What I'm actually trying to do is I'm trying to get to this. So I can just click on that and then right click and then send that to the front. There you go. Okay, so with that selected, I'm going to press Control, and then I'm going to left click on my door hanger, and now I'm going to slice. Okay. And then what that's going to do is that is going to take this little tiny piece right here. See how it gives me, I can get rid of all of this. Now I don't need any of that. I can delete that, delete that, delete that, and delete that. Oops. I'm going to delete that. Just delete that little tiny green piece right there. Okay. And now what I can do is now I can move this back over here. And now you're going to see on this, you would only have to do this if you're using a wreath like this where you want that little piece cut out. See, so now it's going to cut out that little tiny piece. So now with that selected, the wreath is selected, I'm pressing Control, and I am left clicking on my mouse pad, and I'm going to flatten again, just so that it's all one piece. Okay, and then what do I want to do next here? Maybe next I want to, I'm actually going to unflatten this, and I'm going to bring this up just, unflatten twice because it's 2 layers. And I'm going to move backwards 1. Okay, and then I'm going to take this, and I'm actually going to move this up just a little bit. I think I'm going to reduce the size just a little bit so I can get a little bit more text in there. And then let's pick something to put on the very bottom here. What if I move that to the front, send to front, and then what if I made this here? Okay, so what I'm going to do, my text is all one layer, so I'm going to make a shape. And I'm going to put that over just the name so that I can get the name separated. Oops. Unlock. And see how, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, if you understand what I'm doing, but what I'm doing is I'm just putting that block over the text because the text is all one layer. And then I'm Control and left clicking on my text. And now I'm going to slice so that what I'm doing is I'm slicing the name. I'm slicing the family name out of that text. So I'm separating that layer. So delete, and then you delete the second layer that you sliced out. And now this is separate. See how that's now separate from my text? So I just sliced that apart. So what I want to do here is I want to take this, put this right here. This might be super duper pretty. Okay, and then I want to center that. So with that selected, I'm pressing Control, and then I am left clicking on door hanger, and then I'm going to go to Align, and I'm going to center horizontally. Okay, and then I'm going to flatten that. I definitely want that. Move that backwards. Move backwards, okay. And then if I take this and I reduce the size of it, you have to reduce it a little bit more. This is going to be super pretty. Okay, I want that to fit on there right, so yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, go ahead and select the name and the background, and I'm going to flatten that. I wish I didn't have to keep doing this, but I do. So, there we go. Okay, that is going to be so pretty. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take this and put that like right about right there. And then maybe, I don't know, that's super pretty. Let's take that and maybe wasn't what I wanted to do. So with that, with my text, my text selected, I'm going to Control left click, align center horizontally with my text. And then I want to grab just that flower. And let's see, where do I want that? Actually, you know what? Let me put an arrow in. I really like this arrow. And again, that arrow is all a part of it's all a part of this design set. And I will link that in the description. It's super duper pretty. And it's huge. This is just a few things that are in it. Where do I want to put this arrow? I think that actually looks really good right there. Yes, no, too much. I like it. We'll leave it there for now. And then I'm going to try flipping that the other way. So flip that horizontal. Ooh, that wasn't what I wanted. Undo. I wish it didn't take so long to undo in Design Space. Okay, make sure that your bird is what you're selecting. Third tries the charm. Yes, no? Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, and then maybe I really do like that one. I don't know if I can get it to look good though. It might be too much. Yeah, I think that's just going to be too much. That's too bad. That's super pretty. If I put that, flip it horizontal. I just don't think we're going to be able to get that in there. I think it's probably just going to be too much. Yeah, that's too much. That's too bad. That's right. There's other projects for it. So let's reduce that just a little bit. And maybe this should actually go up in this corner. Oops, not what we wanted to do. That's right. This is going to be super duper duper pretty. And I actually have some cardstock that I'm going to print this on. That's like shimmer cardstock. So it's going to give it like a super nice iridescence to it. Okay, that is perfect like that. And then you don't want to overdo it, but in the same breath, these are so pretty. I want to use them all. Flip upside down and flip that way. It's not quite right there. Maybe if I flip this like that. Oh, no, that wasn't what we wanted. Sorry for the awkward pauses in the middle of it. Okay. So is that it? No, that's not it. It's just going to be a hassle to try to grab it right in there. So this is probably the easiest way, is to find it over here and grab it here. And just move it over, because otherwise it's just going to keep grabbing whatever's there on accident. Okay, so let's see if that looks okay there. Kind of doesn't. Might be too much. Come on, Design Space. Stop freezing up on me. And I lost it again. There it is. Okay, I think we're going to get rid of that one anyways. Maybe. So I'm not going to use that bird. I'm not going to use this bird. Maybe I will use. Oh, you know what? I forgot I had the text in a different color. No, I think it's fine the way it is. Get rid of that. And then maybe. I mean, honestly, it's fine the way it is. It's super pretty this way. But let's just take this one more little thing. Just kind of add that. Up here or over here? I feel like it's too blank over here. There. Yeah, I like that. I like that just like that. I think that's perfect. Okay, so yeah, I think that's perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of all of this. And I'll get rid of this. And I'll get rid of all of this. That's going to be so pretty. Wait till you see it in the shimmer cardstock. And then I'll select everything here. Okay. And then I'll flatten it. Okay. And then by flattening it, what you're doing is you're making that all a print. This is now all a print and cut. So you can see over here, right now you have 3 layers. 2 layers. You have this, which is 1 layer, and this, which is the other layer. And that's what you want. And this, obviously, I can get rid of. And make sure, that's the other thing, like this video and subscribe. I'm releasing videos as often as I can. So go ahead and subscribe and you can see things as they come out. So we'll get rid of that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to make it. Oh, actually, I take that back. So we need to resize it first. So right now we have it a little over 5 by a little over 12. That's not how big we want it. We want it 3.5. The sizing on the, excuse me, the sizing on the door hanger is correct. That if you go 3.5 or right around in there, it's going to, and obviously you want to make sure that this is locked so the proportions stay the same. And that'll make it exactly right. It's about 3.5 by 8.5. Let's just make sure they changed the print allowances, I think. I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to be able to print it that size. It might have to go a little bit smaller, but let's just check. So we'll go to make it. That's going to let us. That's perfect. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll send that to the printer. And then when we send it to the printer, it'll print with this around it. And then we load that right into the Cricut. It'll be already flashing. Load it up, put it on a mat up in the upper corner so that you're putting it square so that the two, the top and the left side align with the side, the actual grid on the mat. And then load it in. And then your sensors will find where it should cut. Press the button and it'll cut around the outside of your hanger and you're going to have a beautiful hanger. And that's it. That's really all there is to it. So continue. Send to printer. You don't need the bleed on this because there's nothing on the very edge, but if you want to, you're welcome to leave it on. I turn it off, 1 copy, and make sure it's going to my right printer. I have quite a few. And I think I want it to go to my laser printer. Okay, and that's all there is to it. And then print, and you're ready to go, and you're going to have a beautiful door hanger. If you have any questions at all, please ask them in the, on the video, or if you see it in a group and I'm in the group, you're welcome to ask the questions there too. But it's really, it's pretty simple. And I will link everything. I'll link the flowers and that whole set. It's a huge set, like I said, super duper pretty. So I'll link that in the description. I'll link the fonts that I used in the description. And that's it. Have a good day. Bye.